Hey guys, what's going on? I'm Craig and this is Spirit of Vinyl. It's finally Friday. Glad you're all here. Cheers. No beer today. Vodka and mixer. So, decided to go a little harder today, I guess, than normal. That's pretty damn good. Vodka's one of my favorite things to mix with. Nice thing about vodka is you can't really taste it, so you got to be really careful. Anyway, hope you guys are all doing well out there. It's Friday. It's the start of another weekend. It's been beautiful this week. Weather's been great, which is really nice compared to the snow I had last week. Actually, in the 70s this week, it was really nice. So, anyway, it's the last day of February, so you know what that kind of means for me. What I do towards the end of the month or the beginning of a month is show you what I bought the previous month. So I'm going to show you my February pickups today. More pickups. Not quite as many as I had in January. You know, January I had money from Christmas and money from my birthday and all that, so I bought a lot in January. But I only picked up 8 in the month of February. So we'll go ahead and start off. So this first album's from 2003. It's a 2023 repress. This is Municipal Waste, Waste 'Em All. This is, I think it's Nuclear Blast, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, Nuclear Blast Records. So, this is, I don't know if you're not aware of Municipal Waste, they are, I would say, a thrash band. They play pretty heavy thrash music. This is one of their earlier records, like their second or third one. This is a little more hardcore sounding than some of the more later Municipal Waste that I have, which is more like pure thrash. But very good band, very cool vocals, just great. You know, it's great thrash music, honestly. There's the back of it right there. And you can see the song listing on here. Like I said, this is early, more of a hardcore sound rather than a thrash sound. So these songs are like 1 and 2 minutes long, some of them, you know. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 9, like 18 songs on a single record. So, and it came with the little insert. It's got lyrics and stuff on it. Picture of the band, pictures from the band and stuff. And it's on a orange swirl vinyl. It sounds really good. These Nuclear Blast represses they've been doing, they really know how to, they know how to press them. They sound awesome. I wish there was kind of more stuff in them. It seems like a lot of them, it's like, more than just like an insert would be nice. You know, they're repressing an album that's 15 or 20 years old. See, that's from, it's a 20-year anniversary. It's not necessarily an anniversary edition, but it would be nice if they put a little bit more in there, but they sound great. All the Nuclear Blast represses I've gotten recently from Testament and Municipal Waste and Exodus and stuff, they all sound great. So they're doing a really good job. All right, that same day, I got all these at the record store, by the way. That same day, I bought this Death Symbolic, 1995. This is their 6th album overall. I bought this to finish my Death collection. This is a unofficial press, Australian press. It's unofficial. They actually do have an official copy of Symbolic in there. This is the inner sleeve. It's a nice, heavy, glossy paper. So it's done really well for an unofficial record. So my record store actually has an official copy of Symbolic from back in 95, and it's $140. I got that for like $40. It's in this cool silver and blue swirl. Sounds excellent, actually. For unofficial press, it sounds really, really good. You know, I have a few unofficials. I try to find officials, but $40 for the unofficial or $140 for the official press. I'll take the unofficial. at this point in time, and it's the only Death album I didn't have, so it was time to finish up the discography for the late great Chuck and Death. Just, really cool death metal band, early death metal, kind of pioneers of the sound, I guess you'd say. Sort of took thrash and mixed it with some more darker vocals and stuff, so. And then I went the following week and I bought Type O Negative, Bloody Kisses. This album from 1993. This is a 2024 anniversary, 30th anniversary edition called the Suspended in Dusk Anniversary Edition. There's the back of it there. It is a gatefold double LP. It's got some cool pictures in it. Came with this cool little book. There's the back. It's got pictures. It's got song lyrics. Boy, I know there's maybe there's not. Okay, so yeah, it's got this on the inside. It's pretty heavy duty. And it's on like a green swirl type vinyl right there. Like I said, it is a double record. I liked this one. I kind of knew what to expect. I really didn't know a whole lot. This is one of those records that, I kind of feel like as a metal fan that we should own as a vinyl collector. So when I saw it, I bought it. Side 4 has Black Number 1, the like 11 or 12 minute version of it, which is really cool. And this also has, Summer Breeze. Their remake of Summer Breeze, which is really cool. If you don't know Type O Negative, very dark, doomy type metal. Peter Steele was just very cool. They play, it's kind of really slow type stuff, and just his voice is really dark and deep, and it's just kind of creepy sounding and everything else. Just a really cool band. I was glad I did get to see him live at one time, so that was nice. But, I figured I had to pick it up. It was in the record store probably a month or so ago. I went down there to pick it up, and I was walking in. Somebody else was walking out with it in their hand, and that was the only copy they had at the time. And then when I walked in and it was there again, I just had to buy it right then. So, it was $40 or whatever, and I had to buy it. So, and that same day, I got me a copy of Led Zeppelin 3. Led Zeppelin's third album, obviously, from 1970. This is a 2014 reissue, remastered by Jimi Page. By Jimmy Page, according to what I was reading on it. There's the back. The remaster has the cool little wheel that changes the pictures. There's the inside cover. And Immigrant Song, Friends, Celebration Day, Since I've Been Loving You, Out in the Ties, Gallows Pole, Tangerine, That's the Way, etc., etc. On Atlantic, it's just a basic black with the red and green Atlantic logo. One of the reasons I bought this, obviously, it's Led Zeppelin, but I was sick a couple weeks ago, and I sat home on a Saturday and just watched rock documentaries, and I watched The Song Remains the Same. And I was just, I hadn't seen it since I was in high school, and I was too young to appreciate how good they were. And watching The Song Remains the Same and watching Jimmy Page play the guitar, just excellent. I was like, okay, that's it. I got to finish my Led Zeppelin collection, so this is one step in the right direction. I still need to get a copy of Physical Graffiti and In Through the Outdoor. And then there's Coda. So that's a question I have for you guys out in the VC. Because I see on there that Coda is basically stuff that was left off other Zeppelin albums. It was done after Bonham died, kind of basically kind of what I got the idea was to fulfill a contract or whatever, and they took some stuff that they had left off earlier records that they didn't think was worth playing or worth releasing at the time, and they put it out for Coda. So I don't know if Coda's worth buying. So the two I need for sure are Physical Graffiti and In Through the Outdoor, and then there's Coda. So I'd like you guys to let me know what you think, if I should get all three of them or just let Coda pass. And then if I run across a copy of like The Song Remains the Same, the music from the documentary live concert, if I should buy that or not, if it's worth buying, you guys let me know. Led Zeppelin, you know, it's been one of those bands, they've always been around. It came out the year I was born, and you know, I really like everything I have, and so picking up Led Zeppelin 3, and I will definitely pick up Physical Graffiti and In Through the Outdoor once I find those out there. And like I said, Coda's just something I've been questionable on, so you guys let me know what you think I should do. I am not one of those guys who has to buy everything by every artist to fill up a collection, so if it's not worth spending my money on, I want you guys to let me know to save me some time. All right, then Valentine's Day happened. I went out and bought my wife some presents and all of that, and she comes home from work, and there's the bag with the presents in there and the card and all the stuff that guys do for the wives from Valentine's Day. And she goes, "Oh, I didn't know we were buying presents for each other on Valentine's Day. Here's a card." So I got a card. I'm like, "You didn't have to buy me anything." She's like, "We never discussed it, etc., etc." You know how that goes. We've been married almost 18 years. You know, we didn't discuss whether we were buying presents for Valentine's Day. But as a man, you know what it is. You got to go do it, right? Right. So anyway, I decided I'll just get my own Valentine's present. I'll buy what I want. So I went on Amazon and I ordered Detonator by Ratt. This is their fifth album and their final album before the breakup and everything else. This is the last Ratt album with the classic lineup of the five of them. And this finishes my Ratt collection because I honestly not interested in any of the stuff that happens after this. And like I just said, I'm not one of those collectors who has to have everything from every band that I love. I love Ratt. I love this era, and I never paid attention to after the breakup, and then they get back together, and then, you know, Robin's dead, and they get back together, and they get somebody else to play, and I just, you know, they put out a couple of compilations. I may pick up 8191 if I ever found that on vinyl out in the wild. I wouldn't pass that up for sure. But overall, this is it. This finishes my Ratt collection finally. This is a 2024 repress. You know, they did the box set, and then for those of us who didn't buy the box set and only needed a couple albums, they started releasing them one at a time. And this is one of those. Looks pretty much just like what I saw in the box set. It's just got your plain inner sleeve. It's got the Ratt logo with the name of the album on there. And this one is red. So, but it's a great record. I mean, honestly, for them to call it a day, basically, after this record that has Shame, 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 Loving You's a Dirty Job, One Step Away, Heads I Win, Tail You Lose, Giving Yourself Away, those are all hits off of this record. So, you know, that's 4 or 5 hits out of, you know, 10 songs, sold millions of copies, and then they just couldn't get along. Ratt just couldn't get along. So that came from Amazon. I was surprised it came. Listen to this story from Amazon. So I ordered it. I ordered some other stuff, you know, some energy drinks and stuff like that. They shipped it all in the same box. So I opened the box. It's got 2 12-packs of like soda in there. It was like a 12-pack of Rockstars and a 12-pack of these protein drinks my wife drinks in the box with the record, which was wrapped in a record mailer. It was, you know, wrapped in one of the record mailers we all know, which was in the box with it, and then moved around with those 12 packs just bouncing around inside this box with the record in there. And as soon as I saw that, I was like, I'm going to have to send this back. It's going to be hammered. But I opened it up, and it wasn't hammered, so I was surprised. But Amazon, man, you guys are taking chances by doing that shit. All right, then last weekend I went to the record store again to go spend some more money I don't have on stuff and I wasn't sure what I wanted. I was just basically wandering around, just looking at stuff. I didn't have anything in mind. There was nothing I had seen that they had that I absolutely had to have. So I spent a half hour, 45 minutes wandering around, and I finally just bought a couple of things. And this is one of them I bought. This is basically a blind buy. This is a band that I had seen and heard of, but never heard. This is Axe. This is their third album from 1982 called Offering. There's the back of it. This is a good 1980s hard rock album. I liked it a lot. It's got that cool, it's, like I said, it's from 82, so it's that early 80s, sort of that hard rock metal sound before 80s metal really broke. And it's not really 80s metal because the music is different. This is, it's got some keyboards and stuff in it. Definitely not, how the 80s metal scene came on and it was mostly, sex, drugs, rock and roll, party all night, whatever type stuff. Bands like Poison and Rat and so on. This is a little different than that. Still had that, this is a band from, 77 to like 85 or something like that. So this is their third album. So they still had some of that 70s sound with the keyboards and stuff, but it was getting that little heavier hard rock type sound. So pretty good record. It was $9, so I figured I couldn't go wrong. Atco label. And yeah, I did like it. Not that I'm going to go search out all of the other Axe albums. Not that there's that many of them. But, it was a blind buy. It had been at the record store for a while, sitting over in the metal section. And I don't know if necessarily call it metal, but it's close enough, I guess you'd say. And it had been sitting there for a while over the record store in the metal selection. And because it's Axe, it was right in the front. And I'd seen it. It's been there for months. And I finally just decided, okay, I don't have anything else in my hand. It's $9. I'm just going to buy the damn thing. Another one I only spent like $7 or $8 on that day. Heavy Horses, Jethro Tull, 1978. This is their 9th or 10th record, if I remember correctly. There's a band looking all British and cool on the back. I knew basically... When I looked at this, I knew nothing off of this record. But when I played it, there was something that was kind of familiar. But I couldn't quite tell you what it was off the top of my head right now. This is kind of a folky sound. You know how Jethro Tull is obviously progressive. This one's more folky than like Aqualung or War, Thick as a Brick or something like that. It's got this kind of cool embossed cover on it. It kind of feels like leather, like this is a leather cased picture frame or something. It's in fairly decent shape. It was only $7 or $8. It did come with the inner sleeve with the lyrics on it and stuff. And it's on Chrysalis, on the blue Chrysalis label. And it played excellent. It sounded great. Pretty cool album. I do like Tull when I'm in the mood. I love Aqualung, Thick as a Brick. Those albums are great. I've always loved those albums. So, but that was something I'd never heard before. And that was a little bit later. It was after that time frame where I mostly have Aqualung, Thick as a Brick. I have War. I have one early album that was a friend of mine's when he died that I picked up. I can't remember what it's called. It's the one with the 3 cartoon faces on the front of it off the top of my head. So, but I do like the sound of Tull, and I'm not really big into prog, but I did like the sound of that. And then here's another one, which wasn't necessarily a blind buy, but this is way out of my normal genre. I bought, this one had been in their used section, recently arrived for a while, and I just decided to pull it and buy it. So Avril Lavigne, Let Go. This is her debut album from 2002. This is the 20th anniversary. 2020 came out in 2023, remixed, remastered. It's a double record. Gatefold, nice pictures of Avril when she was young. I guess she was like 17 when she put this record out. And it's got Skater Boy on here, which was I remember being a hit, and Complicated, which was also a hit back in the day. This album sold millions of copies, and this is not my genre at all, but I really dug this record, honestly. Just a cool pop-punk sound, very cool for its time, 2002, which, doesn't seem that long ago, but it's been a bit since this record came out. But it sounded great. I was reading on it. Some people don't like the mix of it because it was remixed, but me having never heard the original mix, I saw nothing wrong with it. It's one of the inner sleeves. Like I said, pictures of her again. I kind of did some research on this record. Josh Freese, who now plays drums for the Foo Fighters, is on this album. And basically, when the album was recorded, it was, a lot of studio musicians. And the band you see in the music videos isn't really the band that's on the record. They were musicians that were picked because they were the right age and they had the right look for the style that Avril Lavigne had. The records are in this kind of clear red, smoky type vinyl. And actually, it sounded really, really good. And it's a really good record. I was surprised. I mean, I kind of knew what I was getting into. I did know, like I said, I do know those songs, Complicated and Skater Boy. But this isn't my genre at all. Normally, nothing I would definitely, not go for. This is not something that I would reach for automatically. But I've been going, I've been there 3 times in February, and I was there in January, and this had been in that section, and I picked it up and looked at it at least twice, and I just finally decided to pull the trigger and buy it. It was $25, and I wasn't finding anything else. I bought this, I bought Toll, and I bought that Axe album. So that was my last trip to the record store, and I'm pleasantly surprised about how good this is. This is really good musician, good songwriting. She's got a great voice, and it's really cool stuff. And I was looking and I'm thinking I might end up having to get some more of this stuff. So I really digging this. This was pretty cool stuff. Like I said, it's just that poppy kind of punk influenced sound of the early 2000s, late 90s, that type of sound. So very cool. Her story's cool. Look her up. Reading on her, she wanted to be a singer, and she started entering contests up in Canada. Yeah, she's a Canadian, for those of you up north. And then she was winning some contests, and then she just kind of worked her way through it. And still out there to this day, still looking great, and yeah, she's still out touring and putting music out. I think she put an album out a couple years ago. So recommend, honestly. And like I said, some people were complaining about the mix on it. They didn't like the mix on this reissue remix, but like I said, I've never heard the original other than a couple of songs. Skater Boy and stuff was on MTV. Complicated was also on MTV that early, in the early 2000s. So, but to me, it sounded great. So I think it was worth the cash. I might be becoming a fanboy. I don't know. Anyway, that's all I bought. That's what I got in February this year. I really appreciate you guys watching. You guys all take care out there. And I am wearing my Sunday Night Vinyl Confession shirt in honor of the fact that Steve and Trevor are back as of last weekend. They were back with Sunday Night Vinyl Confessions, so thought I'd do a little free advertising for them. So Steve, A is for Alice, B is for Bob, C is for Steve. Sunday Night Vinyl Confessions. C is for Confessions. So, yeah, they're back on. Him and Trevor are back doing the thing. Last week's episode, they had Marsha P. as a special guest, and you're going to do that every couple weeks, so keep your eyes open for that. Really appreciate you all watching, and you guys all have a great weekend, and I'll see you guys later.